Hi everybody, it's Heidi from flutterbyheidi.wordpress.com, back again here with another Ferrero Friday project, and this time it's a little curved top box using the envelope punch board. So I've just made a little box, and it just fits 2 Ferrero Rocher, you can see in there, and it holds closed using like a little bar, which is of course from the label punch, which is a really useful one, and nice straight edges on that means that you can sort of tuck it in and use a half a dimensional on either edge to hold it in place. And then the sentiment on the front is from a really useful set. We sometimes forget to have a look in the main catalogue, and this is one of the Happy Happenings sets, and it's got a range of sentiments that you could use for all sorts of occasions. So there's thank you, today's the day, which I've used before on my projects, but also, you know, some other ones, me, miss you, only all the time. Really nice, fun sentiments that are a great one to have, I'd say in your back pocket, but on your shelf, obviously, preferably. So this is using Painter's Palette DSP as well, which comes in a little 6x6 inch stack. Has a whole host of colours in there, and a lot of them are the in colours, which are really quite fun and funky. So you're going to need your envelope punch board, and you're going to need one of the squares, which I've trimmed down to 5 3/4 inches by 5 3/4 inches, which is 14.6 centimetres square. And you're going to punch and score at 2 3/8 and 4 3/8. So 2 3/8, just line it up here, punch and score, and the next one is 4 3/8, punch and score. Turn it round and follow the score line. So line up that first score line, punch and score. Line up the second score line, and you're going to punch, but you're not going to score. So round the other side, 2 3/8, punch and score, score, and then punch and score, and just punch. Okay, so you'll have you'll have score lines going down here, but you won't have any on this one here. If you accidentally do it, it doesn't matter, because you'll see there on mine I've scored, but it's not very visible anyway, and so it really doesn't matter whether you do it or not, but I just think it helps give a slightly smoother finish if you don't actually score it. And then all you do is come in, and you're going to cut down on those 2 score lines, and just cut a little, do a little wedge to help it close more easily, and the same on the other side, and again. And then just fold and burnish, fold and reinforce those creases. These 2 tabs on either end you're going to stick down, and then these are the tabs that are going to fold up and glue in place to make the actual box itself. So just take a little bit of glue, depending on what you've got. I've got my snail here, and just fold those in. What I haven't done, which I need to do, is to round the corners on these 2 larger flaps. So that's where you just bring it into the top section of your envelope punch board and punch that to round it, or if you've got a corner rounder, if you prefer that, that would work just as well. So all we're going to do now is fold the flaps and actually I'm going to use my fuse there, because it's a box. We're going to obviously, it comes under a little bit of pressure, so it's better to use a slightly firmer glue. So just a little bit of fuse on either one of those, and just see I'm just coming down the outside edge. Fold up on either side and just line up that edge. So there's our little box, big enough to pop our reusable 2 Ferreros in. As I said to friends, I start off with the packs of 4 Ferrero. Unfortunately then my younger son in particular comes into my craft room. I then have fewer Ferrero. I've just got a strip of the Peekaboo Peach here, so I'm just going to cut a little bar from. And as I said, all I'm going to do is use just half a dimensional on the edge there when I can find my dimensionals, which I seem to have misplaced. Okay, I'm not going to use a dimensional. Or any other glue dot that you happen to have handy. So literally all you do is just put some 3D foam dimensional on the end. There we go. So I've literally just cut a little bit off the side strip of my dimensionals and just roll those over slightly like so, and then just pop the bar across. And that just will hold it in place. I then open it up and give it a good squeeze to hold it in place. There we go. So you'll see that holds it in place. And then I've got a scrap of Whisper White here and our Peekaboo Peach ink. So I'm going to use the same sentiment. Let the celebration of your fabulousness begin. And then I've got two punches. I've got the 1 3/8 punch and the 1.5 inch punch. So I'm going to use the 1 3/8 for the sentiment, like so. And then the 1.5, just that fraction bigger, to punch out a circle. And that just layers up, just with just enough, I think, on the back there to look effective. Doesn't have to be too big on a small box. Then again, just a dimensional on the back there. Put the sentiment on the front. There we go. And there you have a little treat box with a bar closure. And we've got one here using the same DSP, but as you can see, looks quite different depending on what you're using. But one little treat box ready for Ferrero Friday. I hope you've enjoyed watching. Come back again on Friday or join me on Sunday for Sunday scoring for my fancy fold classes and tutorials. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and visit my shop at heidismith.stampinup.net if you need some Stampin' Up supplies. Take care, back soon. Bye bye.